I'm Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and welcome to the stunning, gorgeous island of Maui, Hawaii. This video is everything that you need to know before you come to the island. It is absolutely spectacular here on the beach. I'm in Kihei at the beach in amongst lava rocks, sitting in the sand, listening to the waves go by. It is absolute perfection. To my subscribers, thank you so much for stopping back by. I really appreciate your support. And if you're new here, I share laid-back luxury travel videos that will make your travels easier and way more fun. Make sure to subscribe. That's the red button below. Ring that notification bell and give this video a thumbs up. Now let's get started. Something that is unique about Hawaii in general is, did you know it's only been a state since 1959? There is a very strong Hawaiian culture here with its own language, its own people, and it is such a unique place to come visit. It's not all about big resorts and just gorgeous beaches and fancy sunsets. There is a true culture here that is absolutely spectacular. So there are two words that you really need to know when you come to Maui or come to Hawaii in general. One is aloha, which is hello. It's also goodbye. But the true meaning of it is alo, which is presence, and ha, which is the breath of life. So they are actually giving you presence, calm, and the breath of life when they say aloha. So the second word that you need to know when you're in Maui is mahalo, which means thank you. You can also say mahalo, you're welcome. And in the Hawaiian language, it means take care of yourself. It means compassion, appreciation. It's sort of a similar feeling in my mind, please excuse me if I'm wrong, to namaste. So remember, aloha and mahalo. Not just hello, goodbye, thank you, you're welcome, but the true meaning behind in the Hawaiian language. So the population of Maui is about 200,000 right now. That's what Google said, don't quote me. So what makes Maui so unique is its topography and its size. It is the second largest island after the Big Island. It is 48 miles across and 26 miles from north to south. It has over 120 miles of shoreline and 48 of those miles are beautiful sand beaches like I am sitting on right now. It is a gorgeous place to visit with such varied weather. So on the road to Hana, don't expect it being all sun over there. And then on this side, you have nothing but gorgeous days and beautiful sunsets. Then, of course, you can go up to Haleakala, which is over 10,000 feet. Make sure to bring a cap and a jacket with you because it is usually about freezing either at sunrise or just after sunset. Maui is so unique. There are so many things to do. Beach volleyball, snorkeling, those types of things. There's plenty of hiking to be done. You can cycle and cycle down Haleakala. You can go surfing. You can go stand-up paddleboarding. I have spent the entire week doing this, that, and the other. I have spent no time just lounging around on the beach. I've been here a week and I swear it is not enough time to get everything done. So let's talk a little bit about arriving in Maui. First and foremost, be careful because you're not arriving at the Maui airport. I mean, it is Maui, but then again, it's not Maui. It is called Kahului Airport, and the airport code is OGG, named after a famous pilot here in Maui. When you arrive at the airport, it is more of a tropical style open air airport. It's relatively easy to get through. The baggage claim is open air. It's very easy to get a taxi, and my opinion is you definitely have to get a rental car. It is such a big island and you definitely want to have your own car. Whether you're going to the grocery store or driving up Haleakala or driving the road to Hana, you definitely want to have your own car. I definitely recommend you get unfortunately, a sensible car with a trunk. You want to be able to hide your stuff just in case those, robbers that are everywhere in the world see something valuable inside your car because you're in a Jeep and bust out your window. It's been known to happen, so I always recommend getting a car with a trunk. If you're gonna get a convertible, well, think about the road to Hana and the fact that there's, I believe, 12 feet of rain every year. Not so much fun in a convertible. Just saying. If you would like to know the ultimate guide to what you need to bring when you come to Maui, definitely check out the video that I have done with all of my packing tips for everything that you need for every aspect of the island. I also have a downloadable ultimate packing guide for Maui. Make sure to go to the description below and click the link that says free packing guide. Now that you've picked up your luggage, you've picked up your rental car, the next thing is, what do you do next? Super easy. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but your first stop needs to be Costco. Costco is right around the corner from the airport, and you can pick up your water, your snacks, all kinds of things there. You can pick up a cooler if you didn't bring a collapsible cooler with you. You should have snacks and drinks and wine and beer and anything for cocktails in your condo or in your hotel. So definitely stop at Costco. Also, most of us have come from the mainland and we're a little tired after 6+ hours of flying. So you're gonna be hungry. The next thing after Costco that I recommend, there is a delicious food trailer called Tsunami Burger. I had a shrimp, garlic, sauteed shrimp salad there. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day. I started at 4 o'clock this morning at my time, which is 5 hours later than it is here, and it is already 5 o'clock here. I landed in Maui, and I didn't have to do any of the testing or anything like that, which was fantastic. I got at my car, got an upgrade in my car for free, which was even better. And then this is what you do when you land in Maui. You go first to Costco and buy some snacks and some wine and some stuff to eat on the road for all of your day trips. And then you come to these food trucks and hang out and get your first meal in Maui, either some shrimp or some poke, ahi, or anything like that. So check it out. Upon all my research, now that I have been here, I'll share a little bit about the different areas. You can stay in Paia, except that is going to be windy, possibly rainy. You always want to stay on this side of the island. First, you have Wailea. Wailea is a little bit down the road. It's about 10 minutes from us because I'm in Kihei, and Wailea is sort of the Beverly Hills of Maui. You find the Grand Wailea, that's where the Fairmont is, that's where the Four Seasons is. It is gorgeous, lots of golf courses, big lush trees. It really feels sort of like the Beverly Hills of Maui. Then where I am, I'm in Kihei. Kihei is pretty low-key, seems kind of a beach vibe. There are a lot of condos here, not a lot of fancy hotels. There's some great little restaurants and some great food trucks. I have to say, eat in as many food trucks as you can find. Search for the best food trucks wherever you are. The food truck food is absolutely delicious. So in Kihei, it's a laid-back, low-key vibe. I really like the beach here called Kamaole. There are actually 3 beaches, I believe, along the way, and my condo is located between 2 of them. It's a perfect location. It's called the Royal Mauian. It's not the fanciest condo, but it has worked out perfectly, and my sunsets have been stunning. So moving up, you can stay in Lahaina. Lahaina is lots of activity, lots of shopping, lots going on, a lot of history in the quote-unquote Whalers Village. That was sort of the capital, and there's a lot going on there. It feels more like Key West, and there's a big port there as well. If you go a little bit further, you have Ka'anapali. Ka'anapali is, again, big resorts, except it's the Westin, it's the Sheraton, it's the Marriott. They have these beautiful groomed walking paths along the beach and big, beautiful beaches as well. It is a great place to stay. Again, on the other side of the road, lots of golf courses. It is fantastic if you want more of I would say a Cancun style big resort vibe. So the next area up is Kapalua, and I actually didn't go there, so I can't speak of it, but what I hear is it's a great place for families. It's also lots of golf resorts as well. So me, I chose Kihei by accident. I was hoping to stay in another area, but things didn't work out. I stayed in Kihei, and I promise you, every single time I come back to Maui, I'm going to be staying in this area. I absolutely love the low-key vibe here. It's my favorite. Are you kidding me? Look where I am, what I get to do. Let's talk about distances and getting around the island. First of all, driving around is further than you think it is. From Kihei to Lahaina is about a 40-minute drive. Going up to Haleakala to watch the sunrise or the sunset will take you an hour to an hour and a half to go up there. Driving the upcountry will take you all day to do. Doing the road to Hana, it's going to take you 40 minutes to cross the island, and then it's gonna take you all day to wind around to Hana. And I definitely recommend you spending the night in Hana. If you would like to know tips about going to Hana, then you can watch my tips of Know Before You Go, or you can watch my entire documentary style video that shares my entire experience with all of my tips and tricks and hacks for the road to Hana. One tip that I have for you is things are busy even in the off season in Maui. So I definitely recommend that you make your reservations as early as possible. As soon as you know you're coming to Maui, start booking the things that you want to do, especially if you want to eat at Mama's Fish House. Yes, the famous Mama's Fish House in Paia. I called them about booking about 2 weeks out, and they said, oh, that's very nice of you, thank you so much, but we book out dinner 5 months in advance and lunch 4 months in advance. But I have a super good tip about Mama's Fish House. The key is to go for lunch and go and put your name on the list about 10:40 in the morning. 10:40, they open at 11, and you can pretty much guarantee you're gonna get a table at 11 a.m. Let's talk about the beaches for just a moment. Please be careful when you are swimming in Maui or anywhere in Hawaii. We're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The currents and the undertows are very, very strong. They say on that side of the island, in the middle of winter at the beach called Jaws, they have 70-foot waves. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I can't imagine even watching those guys surfing. It would be so scary. In addition to the currents and the undertows, all of the beaches are public, which is fantastic. And there's typically parking near all of the beaches. The beaches are very accessible. Even at the fancy resorts like the Grand Wailea or at the Westin in Kanapali, all of those, the beaches are public. So if you can find parking outside, then you can go to their beach. Maybe they'll serve you one of their famous Mai Tais. There is so much to see and do in Maui. If you have 2 weeks, I definitely recommend spending both weeks here instead of trying to island hop between the islands on Hawaiian Air. Spend the time here, do everything there is to do from the upcountry to the lowland to the road to Hana and everything else, and take the time to enjoy the beach, hang out, relax, read a book, and have a cocktail. I cannot believe I've been to 60-something countries and I've never been to Hawaii. So, mahalo, thank you, aloha, goodbye. I appreciate everything. Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, give me a comment about your tips about coming to Maui. And I am Kim, the Abundant Traveler, and I can't wait to see you in Maui. Take care. Mahalo, aloha. The next area up is, I forgot. Is it? I don't know. I can't remember. Kapalua? Learn a little bit about